Hey guys, welcome to another video. As you can see by the title of this video, today we are going to be talking about the differences between EPIK and EPIK Plus. EPIK versus EPIK Plus, right? So if you are a new subscriber, thank you very much for clicking on this video. I hope that you enjoy it enough to stay. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know that all my love goes to you. Thank you very much for clicking on this video, and I hope that you also enjoy it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I don't want to waste any more of your time, so let's get straight into this video. Begin, guys, I just want to warn you that I may be biased because I'm with the EPIK Plus program. I'm gonna try and make this as objective as I possibly can, but I'm human, so yes. Right, so I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but I have been applying for the EPIK and the EPIK Plus program. So I've been in an interview for the EPIK program, and I've also been in an interview for the EPIK Plus program, so just putting that out there. Right, so number one, the application process, right? If you see me glancing over here, it's because my notes are here. So the application process, it's the same, and I'm gonna explain, obviously. So with the application process for the EPIK Plus program, the only thing that's like a little different is that there's going to be a drop down box where you can choose your placement. So with your placement, it has different areas like maybe Seoul, Ulsan, and all of that. You can choose where you want to be placed. With that drop down box, you are going to choose the EPIK Plus option, right? If you want to be with the EPIK Plus program. If you want to do the EPIK route, you're going to choose maybe flexible or whatever other area that they're showing in that drop down box. So that's the only minor teeny weeny difference, right? And when I say with the application process now, I mean when you are actually applying, like typing your lesson plans and everything, right? Then when it comes to processing your application, now when EPIK, after you've submitted and everything, and then EPIK has to process your application, that differs. So if you're with the EPIK Plus program, you will be offered priority processing. What does that mean? Let's say I have a friend. We are both applying for the EPIK program, but I'm applying for the EPIK Plus program. She sends her application first, I send mine after. Mine will be processed before hers. That's what priority processing means. So yeah, with the EPIK Plus program, they give you priority processing. So yeah, I think that's great. Whereas with the EPIK program, they don't really offer that. It's very competitive. So yeah. Next thing, interviews. Is the interview for the EPIK program and the EPIK Plus program different? No. It's not. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I've been in both the interviews and there was literally a slight difference, and I think this difference is just because of my coordinator. It's not something that is done universally across all the coordinators. I think it's just my coordinator specifically who did this, because we talk about our interviews and I didn't hear any other EPIK Plus applicant talk about this, and it's not a big deal, guys, so don't think that is a big deal or anything. At the end of my EPIK interview, after my mock lesson, they said, oh, thank you very much, you will hear from us in a week or so, letting you know if you were successful or not. Whereas with my EPIK Plus interview, after my mock lesson, my coordinator just gave me a rundown of what I should expect if I'm accepted into the program and everything. So she was telling me that listen, I hope you know that firstly, you are going to be placed in the rural area, so you are not going to be in a metropolitan area. Forget about it. That thing, it must wipe it out of your head, right? And then she was like, you're also going to be in like secluded areas, which means if you have travel schools, your commuting time is going to be very long, because one school is there and then the other school is there, so you have to move from one school to this school. So the time to go in between these schools rather, is going to be very long. And then she also let me know that it's very slow paced, a very slow paced environment. She said this is information that based on research you should kind of already know. Her telling me, according to her, was supposed to just be like an add-on to what I should have already known. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was the only minor difference. Okay, let's move on to the placement. Now the placement is the actual big difference between the EPIK and the EPIK Plus program. With the EPIK Plus program, they recently just added Jeju Island. Because I was like, what do you mean you're only adding it this year? What do you mean I could be placed in Jeju Island, right? Because a lot of the creators that I was following on YouTube, their journey and everything, they were in Jeju Island, and I was like, oh, I hope I get placed in Jeju Island. And then as soon as I got here and they were like, it's Jeollanam-do, I didn't even know where Jeollanam-do was, guys. I didn't even know which part of South Korea that is. So fortunately for the new applicants, they added Jeju Island, so I feel like that's great. So with the EPIK Plus program, you will get placed either in Jeju Island or in Jeollanam-do, nowhere else. Whereas with the EPIK program, it's very flexible. You can be placed anywhere in South Korea. And again, you can choose where you want to be placed on your application, right? If you choose the flexible option, then you really don't know. Like, they can literally put you anywhere in Korea. So yeah, that's the difference with the placement. With the placement, if you are going to be coming to Jeollanam-do, I feel like you should mentally and emotionally prepare yourself that it's very far, guys. It's far from the cities, the big cities, the well-known cities in Korea. It's far. And you're going to travel a lot. You're going to be traveling a lot from one place to another. I can't really say much for Jeju Island because I don't live there and I haven't experienced it, so I can't really talk much about it. But there are many creators that are in Jeju Island, so I feel like you should go check them out, hear what they have to say about the living conditions in Jeju. I'm gonna tell you about Jeollanam-do because that's where I am. So yeah. Another thing that you should mentally and emotionally prepare yourself for is that there are a lot of old people here. And I've been to a few areas around Jeollanam-do, and yeah, it's just old people everywhere. So be prepared for that and be patient also because they're old. So yeah. Lastly, there's a lot of agriculture and small towns. So yeah, rice farms almost everywhere, bamboo forests, green tea gardens, a lot of hiking trails. There are hiking trails everywhere in Jeollanam-do, everywhere. So yeah, so there's a lot of agriculture, a lot of small towns as well, very small town. My town is so small, guys. I can literally walk from one end of my town to the other, whereas back at home, and this is a wild comparison because Korea and South Africa in size are vastly different, but back at home, like, I can't walk my entire town. It's not possible. It's not possible. But here, with will and determination, I could probably walk the entire town. That's how small it is. So yeah, that can be a pro and a con. So yeah. Another thing that you should also keep in mind with the placement is that if you're coming to Jeollanam-do with the EPIK Plus program, bear in mind that there are no subways here. So you're going to be taking the bus to pretty much everywhere. Yeah, the only place that you can get a subway, I think, not even a subway, maybe a KTX is in Gwangju. So yeah. Also guys, disclaimer, if you're hearing like sounds and everything, there's construction happening in the school. So yeah, if you hear boom boom, just know that it's construction outside. So yeah. Okay, now for the next part, which is our orientation, right? So the orientation, similarly to the placement, is different. So let's start with the big orientation. So the big orientation is the main orientation. Everyone is there, whether you are going to Jeju, Jeollanam-do, wherever you are going, we are all in that orientation, right? It takes place for 6 or 7 days, and then on the last day, that's where it becomes a little bit different. So if you are with the EPIK Plus program and you are placed in Jeollanam-do, chances are you are going to miss the last day of your orientation because you have to go to the JLP office. JLP is the Jeollanam-do Province Office of Education. That's where you have to go for your next orientation, which is also 1 week long. Now, if you are with the EPIK Plus program but you are placed in Jeju Island, you don't have to do another orientation. You're only gonna do the big orientation, the main orientation. So yes, let's recap. Big orientation, everyone. Jeju, Jeollanam-do, everyone, we are here. Jeju Island, no other orientation. They only have one orientation, which is this one, the big one. Jeollanam-do, we have the big orientation and then our small orientation. So the small orientation, as I said, is 5 days long. I think it's a week long, and personally it was very slow paced for me, which I really enjoyed about it. I think I said it even in my previous video that I felt like I could actually think in this small orientation because the big orientation is very fast paced. There are a lot of us. I heard that there were 500 applicants that were accepted. So there were 500 of us there. So if you have to like move around 500 people, make sure that they're all in class, they all get the same class, it's obviously gonna be like, so yeah. The orientation, there's 2 of them. Okay, cool. Next up in the orientations, in the orientation category is the workshop. So I really hope that as we are sitting here together, I'm talking and you're listening and you have watched my soul vlog. If not, please pause this video and please go and watch that video, and then you can come back to this one. So that video that you just watched now of me in Seoul, that was an all expenses paid trip, guys. It was the workshop. So when you are with the EPIK Plus program with Jeollanam-do, there is a workshop that takes place in the middle of the year. So you go there, you learn a little bit more about teaching strategies, you network with other teachers, and you just have fun, guys. They plan activities, all expenses paid. You don't pay a single cent for those activities. Food is prepared. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that you have to experience. It's so cool. I really enjoyed it. I met other teachers. I actually met, this is so crazy, and I'm going to derail a little bit, but yeah, there's this girl, Bali. We were literally in the same linguistics class in university undergrad. We were in the same class for honors. We only had one class in honors, and I met her at the workshop, guys. Like, I saw her at the workshop again, and I was like, what? So yes, I don't know how I even got to that, but yes, the workshop was really fun. As you can see in the vlog, like, we had so much fun. So yeah, a lot of people though, not a lot of people, some people just feel like it's work all over again. Like, they opt to not go to the workshop because they're like, it just feels like more work. So it really depends on the kind of person that you are. It's all about perspective. So yes. And then with the EPIK program, they don't have that workshop. And I think understandably so, because there are many more people in the EPIK program than there are in the EPIK Plus program. So I think that makes sense. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the vacation days. So everyone, whether you're in the EPIK Plus or the EPIK program, you get 26 paid vacation days. Yeah, everyone gets those. However, there are specific areas in Jalanamdo that have an extra 5 vacation days, right? I'm not sure about all these areas, but yeah, there are specific areas in Jalanamdo that have 5 extra vacation days on top of the 26 days that I just mentioned. I think the reason why these areas get the extra 5 days is because they are the furthest from anything. They are much more secluded than the other areas. For example, I think Wando is one of those areas. Wando is an island. There's a bridge that connects Wando and Mokpo. Mokpo is, I think, another area. So people who live in Wando can just easily just go over the bridge and go into Mokpo. But there's another island, I forgot what the name of it is. And these islands are far, guys. Very, very far. You have to take a ferry to go to the island, to and from. Even Kupang, it's far. So I think those kinds of areas, they are the ones that get the 5 extra vacation days, because honestly, they need them. Right, and then let's move on to the sick days. There are 11 sick days in both the EPIK and the EPIK Plus program, so that's not really different. And then with the special leaves, also known as emergency leaves, like in the case of death or you're getting married, maternity leaves, paternity leaves, those are the same. So for EPIK and the EPIK Plus program, those are the same. There are no differences there. Salary, I think this is the big one. Is the salary for EPIK Plus and the EPIK program different? Whew, guys, it's hard to say, because the base salary is 2.1 million Korean won. And I say base because that's kind of where everyone starts. And then from there, whatever else that you have that can allow you to earn a higher salary will be taken into consideration, and then you earn a higher salary, you know. So for example, the kind of degree that you did, if you are renewing your contract, if you're new in the contract, how long, all these things have to be taken into consideration. And once everything has been taken into consideration, then you'll know how much you're getting paid. So it differs from person to person, province to province, place to place. It really differs. There could be some people who are living in the metropolitan areas who are earning higher than someone who's living in the rural areas, right? So it really does differ. The one thing that I do know that is different is that these areas that get the 5 extra working days also get an extra allowance of 200,000 won. So yeah, again, I think it's because they're just so far away from everything. They need that extra money to make things come to them and to make things happen for them. So they get the extra money. So yeah, besides that, I don't think that the salary differs that much. So yeah, and then let's talk about the overall cons for both the EPIK and the EPIK Plus program. Let's start with the EPIK Plus program. Distance, guys. Number one, if you're someone who loves being out and about, and you're not really into nature like that, you are someone who like wants to be around people, very extroverted and stuff, hey, you're going to suffer if you come with the EPIK Plus program, unless if maybe they place you in Gwangju. Otherwise, Yeah, so if you are like that, I would highly recommend that you just apply for the EPIK program, because you need to take into account your mental health, you know. So if you, these are things that you need to really think about, the kind of area that you're going to, how is it going to serve your mental health and your well-being. So if you are extroverted and you want to be around people and you love conversation and all of that, I wouldn't recommend that you apply for the EPIK Plus program, because maybe there's a high chance that you're going to be placed in an area that is, one, not diverse, and two, very far away from anything and anyone. So yeah, we can already see how that won't work. And then let's move on to the cons for the EPIK program. So with the EPIK program, it's extremely competitive. So, you know, chances of you getting in, chances of you getting the placement are, they are slimmer. They are slimmer, unfortunately. You know, a lot of people want to be in the city. So yeah, that's just what it is. So also the whole priority processing thing, it's first come first serve. And let's talk about the pros with the EPIK Plus program. This one, it can be a pro, but it can also be a con. Life is very slow paced here, you know. As I said, many old people, agriculture, bus, no subway, cost of living is low. So yeah, I think depending on the kind of person that you are, that could be a pro or a con, but for me it's a pro. So yeah, and I think, circling back to the low cost of living, in the city things are a little bit more expensive than they are here, and I've witnessed that firsthand. Like, I'm not telling you a story, things are expensive in the city. So I feel like the low cost of living in the rural areas really just, it makes me happy. It makes me really happy, especially if you're someone who wants to save money, or you know, you don't want to be here long term, whatever the case may be. Then I feel like rural areas, or being with the EPIK Plus program, could really work for you. Yeah. And then fast processing, you know, as I said, your application priority processing, it's number one. Doesn't matter who came before you, you are number one. Yeah. And then the overall pros for the EPIK program is that you're close to everything. If you're with the EPIK program, not the EPIK Plus program, you are close to everything. You don't have to travel long distances to get to somewhere. Everything is literally here. So you don't have to like go out and stuff. And again, if you're extroverted, you can meet people. A lot of South Africans are in the city, so you won't struggle with making friends. You'll find friends, maybe you'll dump these ones and find other ones, so you won't really struggle with that. I think there's a sense of community in the metropolitan areas more than there is in the rural areas. So especially if you're new and you don't really know anybody here, that community can really help you to like feel like, okay, you know, I'm not alone. So yeah, I think that's the biggest pro with the EPIK program and not the EPIK Plus program. So yeah guys, I really think that is it. It's not, these differences aren't like huge differences. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please comment down below with your questions. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll probably just refer you to maybe a website or something where you can read up on your query. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.